You open this door with the key of reason. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of truth, a dimension of freedom, a dimension of joy. You're moving into the land of both the ideal and the real, of the possible and the actual. You've just crossed over into the Capitalist Corner.
Where reason meets reality, welcome to the Capitalist Corner.
Welcome to the Christmas Eve edition of the Capitalist Corner. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that you are here. Thank you so much. What I've done, just to give you a little heads up on some stuff, my producer for The Rational Egoist is out of town. She's not, I guess, in front of her computer, whatever. So what I did was I took my discussion with Sheldon Richman about anarchy and I posted it to the Capitalist Corner video page. So that is a nice bonus. If you want to go check that out, you can. I thought it was a very good discussion, very fruitful and very fun, to be quite frank. So that's good. Also, remember, the show is in no way affiliated with the American Capitalist Party, although you should be going to AmericanCapitalistParty.org and checking us out. And as always, we have our super chats and super stickers up and running. So I want to talk first about, how do I put this here? Decorum, let's say, or manners. The way that we communicate with one another, the type of thing I discuss on my show, Everyday Ethics, which, by the way, today will not be at 2:30. I'm moving it up to 2 p.m. Eastern time, 11 a.m. Pacific, and that way I can get out of here. But so I just want to read some stuff to you. That's not what. Maybe it is. All right, let me back up. Go here. And then look at this. This is a post on Twitter from MAGA Voice. Breaking: Donald Trump just ended Stephen Colbert's whole career on Christmas Eve. I love it. This truth belongs in the Hall of Fame. It's Jenna Clean, thank you for the $2 super sticker. Really appreciate it. This is the post that's being responded to from Donald Trump. Stephen Colbert is a pathetic train wreck with no talent or anything else necessary for show business success. Now, after being terminated by CBS but left out to dry, he has actually gotten worse with his non-existent ratings. Stephen is running on hatred and fumes, a dead man walking. CBS should, scare quotes, put him to sleep. Now, it is the humanitarian thing to do. We also have from the Donald. Holy shit. This is from MAGA Voice again. Holy shit. 12:36 a.m. Christmas Eve. President Trump calls to terminate the broadcast license of fake news broadcast networks. I strongly support this. This is Trump's post. If network newscasts and their late night shows are almost 100% negative to President Donald J. Trump, MAGA and the Republican Party, shouldn't their very valuable broadcast license be terminated? I say yes. We, of course, have Stephen Miller calling for producers at 60 Minutes to be fired. And we have the FCC Commissioner Brendan Carr saying that there should be a bias monitor at CBS that coordinates with the White House. In addition to that, I don't know how many of you know who Ben Sasse is. Get a little reflection. Ben Sasse is a former Republican senator, very conservative, honest guy, was very critical of Trump. Thank you, Lee, for the super chat. Merry Christmas, beautiful angel. Right back at you for €1.99. So Ben Sasse was critical of Trump, honest guy, ends up, he resigned he left the Senate, didn't run for re-election. It turns out now that Ben is dying. Ben announced on X that he has stage 4 metastatic pancreatic cancer. It was a very heartfelt letter that he wrote. So we have John Jackson, a Trump supporter, on X says, 199 euros, Lee Frazier. I'm sorry. So John Jackson says Ben Sass was not a good guy. One of the most heinous and vocal never Trumpers during the first term. He also voted to impeach President Trump in the second ridiculous impeachment trial. He was one of only 7 Republicans to do so. He was a major figure in the sabotage and subversion of Trump's first term, then bailed later to go work for a university. He will not be missed. If anyone out there took offense at this post and thought it was too harsh, I don't even care. All right. So that is and that's nothing new, right? I mean, I see that kind of stuff from the MAGA faithful all the time. Just absolutely reprehensible garbage starting from the top. I remember Donald Trump and, at the rallies talking about punch that guy in the face, all kinds of nasty, nasty things this guy says. So, first of all, let's just say that this is disgusting. It's gross that the president of the United States leads this and that his so-called followers or whatever they are cheer it. It reminds me of a quote, and I don't know exactly where it is in Virtuous Selfishness, but where Ayn Rand talked about how most people don't want to have to confront the idea that some of their friends and loved ones are just downright evil. Now, I'm not quite ready to go there yet, but with people that I like, that are good people in real life, but nevertheless support this guy, defend this guy. It's so gross. It's so disgusting. And then just to show, pardon my French, what despicable pussies these people are. Just grotesque pussies. Oh God, they're cowardly, craven snowflakes, right? Check this out. Let me just see if I can find it. So Brian Krasenstein, who I don't like normally what he posts, we get a $5 Merry Christmas from Jeff Bannister. Thank you very much, Jeff. Really appreciate it. And so he says, Trump is a dead man walking. America should, quote, end quote, put him to sleep. Now, it is the humanitarian thing to do. Now we have this guy, the liberal tear creator, which is an ironic nickname for a crying bitch, right? And when I say that, listen, this is a crying bitch. He tags Elon Musk into a post with this Brian Krasenstein quote and says, hey, Elon Musk, how is this not a violation of X terms of service? Right? After what Trump did. And that's not the only one. These things are all over X. I could probably go at random. Mr. Star Spangled MAGA, Brian Krasenstein has done it again with phrases like Trump is a dead man walking. He has crossed the line into dangerous territory, especially on a platform that claims to prioritize free speech without threats. And then we have the outlaw patriot. Yes, the outlaw. How much longer will this dweeb's slick remarks be tolerated? And this is from the fucking outlaw. He tags in Elon Musk, Nikki Tabier, Safety, FBI Director Cash, FBI Director Bongino, FBI Miami, and FBI Tampa. The outlaw. The outlaw tough guys who, whenever anybody criticizes Trump, you just don't like mean tweets. You just are TDS. You don't like mean tweets. But when someone says the stuff about Trump, they all go on X to cry. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. I don't even know how they live with themselves. How can people live with themselves who think like this? And for the record, I think Krasenstein's tweet or post, whatever, is despicable. It's disgusting. He shouldn't do it. But you can't criticize him and then defend the giant orange idiot. How do they do that? I don't know how these people live with themselves. I really don't. I commit the slightest of possible moral infractions where I'm not even sure and guilt consumes me. These people are fucking heinous human beings. Yeah, asshole, you're a real outlaw. The outlaw patriot tagging in the FBI. Oh my God. Grow some balls and change your name, you coward. All right. Now that I'm all wound up, Mr. Deagle says it's not worth getting upset over morons. Mr. Deagle, I agree it's not worth getting upset over morons. However, when one of these morons is the president of the United States, when one of these morons is calling for network licenses to be rejected, when one of these morons is sending ICE and the National Guard into cities to round people up that he doesn't like, it's worth getting upset about. Lee says she's tingly. My dogs are barking. And Deeper with Diego captures my sentiment. One of these morons is literally the president. Yes, Diego, say it again and say it loud. Hell, say it proud. So what else do we got here? I'm all wound up about this. As I'm going, I just can't. The hypocrisy. Let me to just give you an example of the type of hypocrisy. In prison, it's a common tactic for the biggest rats, the snitches. And I never cared. I'm living an upstanding life. I'm not into the prison culture. This one's a rat, that one's a rat. Jim Valiant, I hope you are feeling better, sir. I really, really do. I meant to text you to tell you, but I got caught up and angry and I forgot. But I love you, Jim, and I hope you are feeling better. So in prison, what you have is there's these people. And what they do is always point the finger. He's a snitch. He's a snitch. And then these same people are in the captain's office with the door closed. And I used to sit there like, how doesn't anybody know this? Like, how does anybody fall for this garbage? Right? I literally had a cellmate that I knew was a snitch. And I don't mean I was guessing. I knew it because I called him out on it and he admitted it. And I only called him out on it because he asked me for help changing his life. And I told him, if you're going to change your life, you have to be honest. You can't keep lying about what you're doing. And that cellmate had the audacity in front of me, knowing I knew what I knew, to talk about, man, all these dudes are ratting, bunch of snitches. That's what this reminds me of. Like, their hypocrisy knows no shame, as the great Doc Holliday said in Tombstone. Okay, we have a question from Anna Kleem. How would you counter EU price controls on pharma? Well, what I would do, Anne, is have a free market. I would deregulate the pharmaceutical industry. I would get rid of all the ridiculous regulations. I would reform the tort system so they weren't as susceptible to liability. I would have a free market in healthcare. That would do a far better job of driving down prices than trying to match on price controls. And thank you very, very much for the $2. Jim says he still cannot speak, but feeling better. Mr. Deagle says your anger makes no difference in their behavior. It just hurts you, so it's not worth it for your own sake. Sometimes anger can be a strong motivator if channeled in the right direction, Mr. Deagle. Plus, like I said, I'm honest. It makes for great content. Let's be frank. You should see Persephone's face. She's getting so excited as I'm here. I'm yelling, and she's like, yeah, go get him. Plus, there was the little bit of look of, maybe a little flirtation in her eyes, which I don't blame her. I mean, but in the meantime, this is Ann M. Just accept they made Americans pay higher prices. They haven't made America pay anything. And I can't have this argument with you. But I will tell you what, Ann M., this is my offer to you. If you would like, instant message me on one of the platforms, whether it be, what are they now? X, or what's the Facebook, whatever. And what we will do then is, if you would like, you can come on and you can bring in all your objections, and you and I can have a friendly debate on my show. We can either do it here or we can do it on The Rational Egoist. I just can't dedicate my whole time to answering all your objections. I'm sorry, but it wouldn't be fair to everybody else. Deeper with Diego is not happy with Mr. Deagle. He says the tone policing over an individual showing his disgust that the president is a retard is interesting. I think Mr. Deagle means extremely well. Akira Felix, you have to say why it's not good. So they have their own little argument, and I'm going to go find something else to argue about here. So the economy tops expectations. The economy grew at the fastest annual pace in 2 years in the third quarter of the year, according to delayed government data released yesterday. It grew at 4.3%. And of course, the MAGAs are cheerleading. They're all very excited. Aha, we told you. The still bad parts of the economy, that's Biden's economy. The good parts are Trump's economy. And look, 4.3% GDP growth is good. I'm skeptical. I'm skeptical for a lot of reasons, not the least of which is that Donald Trump has fired before people who gave him bad news, which creates the incentive to fluff numbers. But given that I don't have any evidence that happened, whatever. But there was also the pause in data collection, so that's a problem. It could be a temporary thing over the the tariffs, but by and large, let's just say 4.3 is good numbers. That's the highest since 2023. What do you notice? When people touted how Biden's economy was growing rapidly, because that's who was president in 2023, I said the same thing. I don't trust it. It's a temporary aberration. The economy is not strong. But if I'm going to say the miracle of Trump, I'm just curious, MAGA. Where were you? I'm sure that in 2023, when the economy was growing at that pace, you all were saying, oh my goodness, Mr. Biden, you knocked it out of the park. Of course you didn't. No, I'm with you, Diego. I rarely trust statistics, especially because it often takes a long time for policies to sort of sift through. Let's give it some time and wait. I just wonder if the economy ends up in recession at some point, that won't be Trump's economy. Who will he blame? Personally, I'll blame Persephone. That's what I'll do. Persephone is looking lovely today, by the way. Not that she doesn't always look lovely. She does, but sometimes I like to call it out because I like to see her blush in the screen below me. It's nice. So yeah, so what do you guys think about these economic numbers? I mean, Diego has told us. What is this here? Oh, this we have. What the hell is happening here? Okay, the Supreme Court has rejected Trump's bid to deploy the National Guard to Illinois. So what did I just say now? What the hell was I talking about? I hate when that happens. I get so wound up, I forget what I'm thinking. Oh, the Supreme Court has said that Trump cannot deploy the National Guard to Illinois. Now, I have not read the decision. I don't know what's in the details. Let me just put that out there. It's just I haven't, but the news reports are that the National Guard is not going to be deployed to Illinois unless Trump, unless something else happens, he enacts a different law that'll bring up different challenges. But for the moment, it's good news that the military is not going into Illinois. So Supreme Court, I thank you. It was a 6-3 decision. I think it was Alito, Gorsuch, and Thomas were in the dissent. Whatever. The idea that we're going to be deploying the military because of the fake emergencies that Trump dreams up, sickening to me. I'm very, very happy that this decision took place. Yes, James Valiant, we still have an independent judiciary properly recognizing the law. And, I'm very happy that we have James Valiant here in the chat. Yeah. Akira Felix says that I use statistics because the MAGA always bring up statistics as arguments. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of statistics, especially not in economics. That doesn't mean statistics never have their place. And, when everybody's going by them and that's what they're referring to, it's kind of hard not to if you're going to even engage in the discussion. Ian Gilmore says you'll know if things have changed when Alito and Thomas ever rule against Trump on anything. Interesting, though, 2 of Trump's appointees ruled against him here, which I think is awesome. It's fantastic. Coney Barrett and Kavanaugh. What do we got here in the private chat? Oh, Race Jacobson said, I would like to know where the growth in GDP is coming from. If it's predominantly government spending, then it means nothing. It's partly government spending. That's always counted in GDP, though. It is also healthcare because healthcare costs are going up. It's also imports are counted against GDP. So imports are down as a result of the tariffs, which gives the lift to GDP. So that could be temporary. But an economist told me personally that, well, let me just open it up and I'll get it directly so I don't mischaracterize what I was told. I've got some great news too, by the way, coming up. Just give me a few minutes here. So this is what the economist wrote to me. Higher GDP growth might sound like a good thing, and it generally would be, but investment spending is down, even though interest rates are falling. And then he puts in parentheses, that's actually good because it indicates that it's not increasing unsustainably, or at least not as unsustainably. If growth in investment was a big part of this, it would be setting us up for a recession. The news I'm hearing is that inflation-adjusted consumer spending is up, government purchases are up, exports are up, and imports are down. Higher exports and lower imports can be attributed to new tariffs, but those gains should vanish as both foreign and domestic consumers substitute cheaper goods and our trading partners retaliate with tariffs of their own, like they did in the 1930s. Government purchases are up due to defense spending. This is deficit financed and adds to an already astronomical natural debt. A large part of the growth in real consumer spending is supposedly in healthcare and medical expenses. So, I'm just saying, MAGA, be careful with the victory lap. Many times, what they remind me of are sports fans. I can't tell you how many times I've seen sports fans celebrating at halftime only to be crying by the end of the game. And I have a sneaking suspicion that it might be about to occur with these folks. Oh, my God. Deeper with Diego with the $50 super chat. You just knocked me out of my chair. How do I recover from this? He says, my wife and I are only smoking after sex. I quit smoking 6 months ago, although my wife is up to 3 packs a day. Rodney Dangerfield. I saw this. Thank you so much, Diego. Thank you. The other day I saw a joke, and this guy says, I was told I wouldn't have any more children if I got a vasectomy. He said, I went out and got a vasectomy and I got home and my 3 kids were still there. So I thought that was funny. I got to get this thing here. So I was mentioning a surprise. So we've got a great surprise for the day after Christmas, a post-Christmas present. We have 2 guests, not solamente uno, pero dos. Not 1, but 2. 2 guests we have on Friday. The first will be the awesome, very wealthy Razi Ginsburg from the Ayn Rand Center, UK. He will be joining us for about 20 minutes. And then he's got to take off on his jet because he has his show to do. But he will be here for 20 minutes. And then we will be having the American Capitalist Party's Alan Thomas here to discuss a important situation that's taking place in Alabama. So look forward to Friday. It is going to be lit up in this piece. You see, I can still hit the jail lingo. I'm just saying. Don't, you ever hear him say, well, I don't want to say that. Never mind. Yeah, we'll forget I even went there for a second, and we're going to get back to the stories. Oh, nothing can go wrong here. Nothing can go wrong here. Axios has learned that the White House has begun managing the Department of Justice's account on X. Who thinks that's a good idea? Just saying. Anybody? Does anybody think that's a good idea? I really can't afford a Razi speaking fee. It's Hanukkah, or it was. I don't know if it's whatever. But Razi is going to grace us with his presence for free. Maybe I'll have to pay him back at a later date if I ever get rich, and if I keep getting super chats like the one from Diego. I'm headed that way. Okay, look, I've gone through some stories. Maybe you guys got some questions, but I want to tell you what I went through last night, just as an interesting thing. So first off, yesterday, I'm so computer illiterate, right, and tech illiterate. So I didn't know how to do the super chat stuff to get them to my account, this, that, and the other thing. So my angel, Persephone, helped me out with that. So she sends me the link. So I go, all right. I click the link. And of course, they give forms that I have no idea how to fill out. But now, so I said, all right, well, I'll take care of this in the morning. So this is yesterday. So now, 12:30 last night, Subby hears something outside. He's driving in. He's coming in. He's sitting in the driveway. I don't know where he was, strip club, whatever, brothel. I don't know. No, I'm kidding. He's not at a brothel. He was working. And he wasn't working at a brothel. Not that I know of anyway. Of course, I wasn't there, so whatever. But either way, he's out there and he hears some screaming, and he says it sounds like a girl screaming. So he calls 911. The cops come. I didn't know any of this last night. You know what I knew? The dogs went absolutely ballistic when they saw the cops. So it's 12:30 at night, and you got rah, 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 and that wakes me up. Couldn't get back to sleep, of course. I tried for, an hour or so to get back to sleep. Finally realized I couldn't. Just let me just get up, have some coffee, and read. So that's what I did. And then I said, okay, let me do this. So I go in to fill out the forms that I got to fill out. So I'm struggling with that. That's a nightmare all morning long, for a good, whatever. Fill this out, put this code, make a new code. No, you can't use that code. You used it before. So I'm going through all this, and then it tells me, we need identification verification. Oh, wonderful, because the last time I went through this, Persephone had me photograph my license on both sides. And the last time when I did that, of course, they always tell you they want the front and the back. So I go into the YouTube thing, and the first thing, because it's the first picture, is I upload the back of my license. And then it says, thank you very much. We will investigate and tell you if this suffices for identification. There's no photo. I'm just hoping the barcode tells them, because otherwise I'm going to get a notification later on that's going to say, I'm sorry, sir, but you need to give us identification that verifies your name and address and blah, 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 blah. So that might happen. So, my aggravation's up a little bit. Now, my email on my phone tells me there's an error occurring. Your email cannot connect to the server. Please verify your information. I'm going everywhere trying to verify my information. Nothing's working. Nothing's happening. I'm losing my mind because I'm waiting for an abundance of emails, not the least of which is from YouTube to tell me if they got, my information. So finally I go to ChatGPT, and ChatGPT tells me what I need to do. You got to delete your account and re-upload it. So, all right, I'll do that. I go to my settings in my phone and I delete it. All right. Now my Google Drive is empty because my Google Drive is connected to my email. So I lost all that. And I'm like, oh no, now how am I going to get this back? Okay. So I get the email back up and running. It's got me Google Drive, but it's still empty. Why? Because for some reason now the internet gods have decided to connect my Google Drive to an old email account that I set up for Brent so that he could keep in touch with his people, which I don't use. Nobody uses it anymore anyway, but it's in there. So of course that's the email account that they connected it to. So then I had to figure out how to undo that. But now, a few months ago, maybe it was a year. What the hell do I know? But a while back, the Gmail, the email folks changed the format. So they separated emails into different sections. Let me just tell you what they are here. We've got primary, transactions, updates, and promotions, which at first I utterly hated. But only the stuff that was in my primary did I have to click in order to get the little notification on the phone to go away that tells me I have email. So I did like that. When I re-uploaded the Gmail account, now everything's there. So I keep getting notifications that I've got 3,000 emails, So this was not fun for me at all. But what it does, see, this is how you turn lemons into lemonade, folks. You see, a miserable night's sleep, a miserable morning interacting with the the internet gods, all getting wound up about these Trumpsters, the MAGA folk, right? But what did it do? All of it gave me 30 minutes worth of content to talk to you people. So in the end, it works out. Mr. Deagle says, I need to steal a few of Yaron's viewers. Well, maybe you can help with that, Mr. Deagle. You can share. Oh, let me do that. Matter of fact, maybe I already did. Mark didn't, of course. Mark is, I forgot to even tell you that Mark is out today. I got a text from Mark last night, and Mark tells me, I may have to cancel tomorrow unless you can do the show. Really? Come on, Mark. You knew, what was I going to say? No, Mark, since you aren't going to be here, I'm going to tuck my tail between my legs and run. You knew I was going to do it. Nobody has shared the show from X. Not one person. Do I got to say it every time? Looking at you, Seth. All right. I just reposted it. Please repost it from my X account. You know, it gets more viewers. It gets things wound up, whatever. Oh, by the way, I didn't tell you either to go to YouTube, like and share it from YouTube to your favorite social media accounts. I'm noticing that the comments are dried up in the chat here. What's that all about? Let's see. Persephone.
Hello.
What's Christmas like in South Africa?
Hot. It's the middle of summer, so it's very hot. Everybody eats cold food, cold meat and pasta salad and potato salad.
Cold meat, like what? Hyena?
Ew. No. Gammon.
Why do you say ew? Wait. How do you know
I've eaten plenty of I've never eaten hyena.
Then how do you know it's ew?
Because like most of those like gamey meats are gross.
What have you had?
Ostrich, crocodile.
What the hell is gammon?
Pork.
So why didn't you just say pork? Why didn't you just say
because
pork?
Because that's what it's called. It's called gammon.
No, it's called pork, and you knew it because you ended up saying it.
It's called gammon. You see, Lee knows what's up. She knows that it's called gammon.
Lee is obsessed with Labubu's and Paddington Bear, right? We're not going to take Lee's word on gammon.
I think it's a British thing because
Lee says that Lee says gammon and pork are different.
Okay, I might be wrong. I actually don't know what it is. I'm gonna Google it.
Okay. So basically, you came on the show to spread misinformation. So you're the fake news. Lee, we love you. Lee Frazier, we love you.
Gammon is the cured hind leg of a pig. It's pork.
It's pork butt. That's what Lee says.
Yes.
So basically, you're enjoying pig ass.
Don't say it like that, but
well, that's what it is. I wonder how many people would eat cheeseburgers if you went to the store and you had to order a cow sandwich.
Probably not
like a lot. If you said, hey, listen, I'll have the cow sandwich medium rare with some cheese.
I mean,
okay. What else? You've had crocodile. What else? Monkey. Have you eaten monkey?
No, but we do have a sauce here that's called monkey gland. But it's not monkey anything. That's just what it's called. I feel like you're not more. You should be more impressed by crocodile.
Well, I've heard of people eating that before.
Yeah.
I hear it tastes like chicken, but people say everything it tastes like chicken.
Because chicken tastes like nothing. That's why. Because chicken is.
We have an Ariel Suarez. We've never had Ariel Suarez, so we're going to post her comment. She says, "I believe that gammon is bacon specifically, or dried and salted pork." Thank you very much. I have not eaten testicles. Have you? Persephone,
No.
eating testicles? None.
No. But
N-
also
of-
remember, I was a vegetarian for like most of my life, so my experience with meat is limited.
So maybe you're going to go out there and try some testicle.
No, because that sounds horrific.
Why?
The texture would kill me.
How
Also,
do you
just
know? What if it was
just
cooked
the
properly? All right,
no,
off the testicles. Let's get back to Christmas. Yeah, I thought you were going to have some really interesting stuff that you had to eat, but evidently you haven't even tried
No.
testicles. So what do you do? What do they do for Christmas in South Africa?
I mean, I can only speak for like the people around me. Midnight mass, because Catholic. So midnight mass, and then open like presents at midnight, and then have lunch the next day, then go home and pass out. That's Christmas basically. And go to the beach.
I'm looking
Lots
for
of
some Persephone. I need a lifeline here. and you're not-
I have it's a boring thing. Christmas here is boring.
Well, do
Lots
you
of-
give
lots of
gifts?
meat.
Is there gift giving?
There is gift, obviously.
Well, you didn't mention it, so how would it be obvious?
I did. I said we open gifts at midnight.
Oh,
It's not my
okay.
fault you
then
don't
I missed
listen.
it because I wasn't paying attention. Okay.
Now I know how Mark feels.
Well, hopefully you don't grow Mark's mustache
I hope not. But we do go to the beach a lot.
on Christmas.
Yeah. And on
See-
Boxing Day.
Why don't they switch it up? Oh, look at this. Ariel Suarez, new to the show with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. She says, hello, thanks for the welcome. I am indeed new here. By the way, please don't take my word for granted. I am not entirely sure what classifies as gammon. Okay, well, thank you very much, Ariel. And if you join us more often, you will find out that I don't take anybody's word for I was going to say for gammon. I don't take anybody's word for granted. Mike alone for longer than 30 minutes is like a fish on land. Boy, you ain't kidding. I remember, though, let me tell you, when I first set up, because I've done, I've so many interviews in prison on radio, but, out here, and I've been interviewed even out here in studio, different podcasts. Oh, Ariel is actually a he. Okay. I'm sorry, Ariel. I figured Ariel because I'm thinking of the Little Mermaid. What the hell was I saying now? I hate when this happens to me. Oh,
Don't like
okay.
interviews?
Yeah. So, but trying to talk into a microphone by yourself with no feedback, that is an incredibly difficult skill to learn. Incredibly. Part of the problem is this. I generally send Mark 10 stories, 9 or 10 stories, and I know that'll keep us for the whole hour. So when I'm on my own, I do the same thing, and I just have to remember to get more. I get 9, 10 stories. The problem is there's not really that much more interesting. So I, on my own, 9 or 10 stories takes me about a half hour, because when I'm with Mark, it goes for an hour.
Yeah, because
Right.
there's back and forth, because you guys have different opinions on a lot of things.
Yeah, Mark is wrong about a lot of stuff. You're right. So I mean, that's just a fact. That's just, anybody that watches the show knows that, Mark is frequently wrong. Mark is out there, by the way, celebrating Christmas Eve. He's probably living it up. For all I know, he and Rozzy are on their jet, on a jet together, sipping champagne. Maybe they're having caviar. Have you had caviar?
Yes.
Ugh, that sounds so gross.
It is. I don't like caviar. It seems pointless to me. It just tastes like salt. It's like a mouthful of salt water.
Ugh, I don't want that. But yeah, so I can talk, but going without feedback, not an easy task. Even talk radio host, Rush Limbaugh could do it for long time. Talk. But even like radio hosts, they rely on callers to mix things up. Another thing is I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to pass bullshit. So if you're not concerned with the veracity of what you're talking about, and you're willing to just go out and spew bullshit out into the world, that you could talk forever. Lee Frazier says I'm doing great and calls me sweetie. Thank you. Sweetie is actually what they called me in high school. No, they didn't actually call me that, Persephone. I would have actually had to go to high school for them to call me anything in high school.
Did you not go to high school at all?
Okay, how do I explain this? So 8th grade, I got expelled from school, and here it was Silas Dean Middle School. So 7th and 8th grade are middle school. 9th grade is the freshman year is high school. So I got expelled in 8th grade. So freshman year, I had to go to a special school called Webb, and it's, maybe 12, 13 kids in the entire school. It's basically a classroom. So I had to go there. Then I got tossed. They threw me out of there. Then I was allowed for a short time to go to my local high school, Wethersfield High School, but I was in special ed classes. It didn't take long for them to throw me out of there as well. So I got kicked out of there. So then I was on probation at the time. So my guidance counselor comes to me and says, "Oh, would you like to go to this school in Litchfield? It's a nice school." What she was talking about was reform school. I knew because I had a ton of friends that went there, so I wasn't going to fall for this. And she's like, "Okay, well, maybe, we'll get you." She said, "Would you be willing to go look at Elmcrest?" Elmcrest is a psychiatric hospital where they have both inpatient and outpatient services and school. So I said, "I'll go look at it. Sure. Why not?" So we get there. I took a look and I said, "Yeah, I'm not interested in going here." And then everything switched to, we will notify your probation officer if you refuse to go here, and you'll be violated and you will go to reform school. So you better agree to go here. And I'm like, whoa, wait a second. What about I have a choice and all this and that? No choice. I feel like I'm Jerry Seinfeld. No champagne, So I end up going to there for a little bit. And this kid on the bus warns me. He says, "Listen, if you act up here, an outpatient, they call what they call Dr. Strong. And then a group of muscle-bound people come and get you, and then they put you in inpatient." And I said to him, "Fuck, they ain't doing that to me. I don't care what they might do it to you. They're not doing it to me." So then the next day I go to school, and there's this one kid picking on another kid. And of course I can't mind my business. So I tell the kid, "Come with me." And now I'm in an argument with the other kid. So I got suspended, and then we had to have a meeting. The meeting was to say that I needed medication. In order to attend school, I had to agree to take medication. Prior to getting there, my parents and I, because my parents are both drug addicts, I was very apprehensive at the time. I had never even smoked marijuana. So my parents and I said, "No way we're allowing me to take medication. It's not going to happen. I'm not doing it." The problem is when we get there, we're arguing about this for a good while. My father is dope sick and wants to go get his fix. So in the middle of this thing, after guaranteeing me he's got my back, we're not going for the medication, looks at me and says, "Mike, why don't you just consider the medication?" Because he wants to get the hell out of there. Now, when he says that to me, I'm livid because you've just sold me out, dude. So, I throw a virtual tantrum. My father and mother leave the room, and sure enough, Dr. Strong come and get me, and they take me in, and I'm inpatient for 2 weeks. Interesting story. Now, sideline from that, the day I'm released from Elmcrest Hospital, I get dropped off in Hartford at my friend John's house. John and I then proceed to walk to where I live in Wethersfield. As we're walking down the street, we see a local cop that I know very well. So we stop and talk to him for a few minutes. He's training another cop. The local cop that was doing the training is my boss now, right? That we ran into. The guy that he was training that night, one time pulled me over in a car, took me out of the car, and told everybody in the car, "If you will implicate Leibowitz in anything, I will let all of you go."
Oh my God.
He found marijuana on my friend. It's my friend's car, my friend's jacket on my friend, finds marijuana on him and tells him, if you'll just tell me this is Leibowitz's, I will let you go. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this. Jenna Kleem, thank you so much with the Habby Hogs watch, Michael. $25. Mwah. Jenna, you are an absolute queen. My dogs are going crazy. I don't know why. Okay, but back to my school. So then they tell me I have to have a tutor. I got to go to a tutor. I did that for a few months. The following year, they wanted me to go to this school called Newington Children's Hospital School. So I enrolled there. After a year and a half there, you have what are called they're PPTs, I think, parent principal teacher meeting, maybe. I don't know exact word, but anyway, so I'm supposed to, I'm about a year and a half in, and I'm supposed to have one of these meetings, which means the local school board comes to my school because they pay for it, and they want to make sure that they're getting their money's worth for me. So they're going to come and have a big meeting. The problem is I forgot we were going to have this meeting that day. So I took a little LSD before school.
As one does.
Yes. A couple hours into the school day, I decide, well, I can't tolerate this being in school, tripping on LSD. So I went what they would call out of bounds. When you leave the school, you're out of bounds. And I just went and hung around outside. My psychological counselor comes running out. Michael, you have a meeting. You have to go to the meeting. So I go to the meeting. My parents, of course, aren't there. My father was, no, he wasn't in jail at the time. Who the hell knows where he was, but I know he wasn't at the meeting. So I'm in the meeting. And I just want to get the fuck out. Like, I don't want to be in this meeting. So they put conditions on me that I had to agree to stay in school. I would have agreed to anything. So I'm like, straight A's, full, of course, straight A's, 100%. What's the word I'm looking for here? Attendance. I agreed to everything. Of course, it didn't work out. So they threw me out. My guidance counselor, the people that are supposed to talk you into going and they're going to help you with your future. She had been trying to get me. She said, Michael, why don't you just drop out? You're my guidance counselor. You're telling me to drop out of school? Michael, it's probably the best. Just drop out of school and get your GED. That'll be good. That's what you should do. But I didn't want to do it. So they have to, in Wethersfield, educate you by law until you're 21. So that summer, I turned 18. I'm still under the age. I went to the school board and I said, I want to attend school. I want to go to Wethersfield High School, the regular public high school. That's where I want to go. That put them into a frenzy. They did not want me in that school anywhere near it. Like, I'm not even allowed on the school grounds. It's right down the street from my house and it's a shortcut to everywhere, but I'm not even supposed to be near there. So they're frantic now. What the hell are we going to do? He wants to come here. So they said, hey, would you be willing to go back to Newington Children's Hospital School where we just removed you because we don't want to pay for it? Because come to think of it, we'd rather waste the money there than have you interfering with our system here. So I ended up going back there for a year and then I just dropped out and quit permanently and got my GED. So long answer to a short question. Yes, there was some schooling, just not much attendance, not much paying attention, a lot of mouthing off, fighting, that sort of thing.
That's a lot for just like a couple of years.
Yeah. I'd say so.
Yeah. I was a tryhard in high school, I realized. Only looking back, I'm like, oh no, I was a nerd.
See, I was a tryhard too. I was trying very hard to stay out of school. I was trying very hard to find marijuana and liquor, and I was trying very hard to find whatever girl would be with me to come with me to smoke the marijuana and drink the liquor.
You see, I was doing that too. I was just also doing like maths Olympiads and like English Olympiads, and like I was on like the art committee and all of that. I was drunk and high most of the time, but I was still doing stuff. Bender from the
Do you know Bender from the Breakfast Club? Oh my God. I wish we had somebody here that was spoiled because then I could do the Bender. Gee, Dad, that's swell. He makes fun of the other kid because he's telling the other kid he comes from a great family while his dad beats him up and everything else. Bender was played by Judd Nelson. Great movie. Highly off the charts, highly recommended. I'm trying to think of another funny story I can tell you. That's what I'm trying to do. But the problem was I got so focused on the school stuff, I've lost all sense of what the hell I'm doing. Let me see here. Boom, we've got anything else?
There was a question from James. Have you listened to his brilliant lecture on substantive due process?
Oh, I have not, James. I believe you have to pay for that from Rozzy. Maybe I'll be able to now with all the super chats. But I would love to see it. I would love to see the great James Valiant. James and I have to get together this weekend because we have to cover objectivity for the podcast. We're doing OPAR for self-improvement. Is that your dogs or mine? All right. I want to find, there was a question that I wanted to see. It was from Mr. Deagle. Let's scroll down. Scrolling. Keep that scroller scrolling.
Is it about the argument against anarchy?
Yes. Oh, if you lack things for you to do, you could comment on the argument against anarchy. I left under your discussion with Richmond. Well, I don't really want to cover that here, as I've covered 1,000 times. One thing that I am looking into, though, is the law merchant. I am trying to reach out to experts on the law merchant so that I can interview them. Law merchant is the go-to for anarchists as their evidence for how a polycentric legal system could work. There are a lot of counter arguments that the problem is I'm not an expert on it. I do know that all of that took place in the background of governments. So it wasn't purely anarchic anyway, but there's a woman named, now I can't remember, Emily Cadens, I think her name is, who argues and quite forcefully and quite convincingly. And the what are they called? AIs say that she's right. Like the consensus is now with her. She says that the law merchant was a myth. Now, just that fact that the consensus is with her, of course, doesn't prove it. There's contrary claims, but it does mean that the thing's in contention, and it's not the clear-cut case that the anarchists make it out to be. We got new comments. Jim says, Rozzy agreed to give it to me for free. He did? All right, well, then I'll watch it. They're telling me I keep freezing, but I don't know if that's just Lee or everybody else or what. Don't know.
Not for me. You're fine on my side.
I'm going to tell one last story. Can I tell one last story before we wrap up? Trying to think of a good one. Okay, Gary Menard with the $5 super chat. Gary Menard is wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Northeast objectivists on Facebook. I always post these shows to his platform. Gary, thank you ever so much. Well, I'm going to have to talk to Rozzy then, Jim. What do you want from me? Okay, so when I was 18, I got into Amway. And my friends and I went down to Virginia in order to go attend one of their conferences, their motivational conferences. So we go down there, and I had quit smoking pot and drinking probably for like 6 months. My friends did not. So the night before the conference, they all decide they're going to get high. I told them, don't get high. You're not going to want to get up in the morning. We have to get up and go. No. You don't know what you're talking about. So all right, they all got high. I got up in the morning. I took my shower. When I went to get in the shower, I turned on the lights, lifted up the shades, told everybody, get up, and then you can shower. When I got out, I get out of the shower. The shades are down, lights are off. Everybody's back in bed. So we end up missing our ride. So we have to hitchhike. We hitchhike. Oh, wow. I've always said I never got picked up. I forget this time. But anyway, so we hitchhike. We get picked up by, a Southern black guy with a heavy Southern drawl. So my friends get in the back of the pickup. I ride up front with him. I can't understand a word this guy's saying to me. So he's pointing and talking and and I don't know what the fuck he's saying. And I'm nodding because I don't want to be rude. And I'm very grateful he's giving us a ride. So we end up getting there. Now we're down there and we decide we're going to go for a walk. So me and my two white friends go wandering around Richmond, Virginia. And my friend wanted to get this fish sandwich that is only in a specific bar. We go into this bar. There's no white people in there. Well, there's one guy, and it looks like they're beating him up in the back of the bar. And you ever see a movie like where all the music, everybody stops and they just look? Well, that's what happened when we walk into this place. A black guy comes up to me and says, "Y'all bar's up over around the corner." So, but my friend wants this sandwich and he won't leave. I want the sandwich. Oh my God. I'm like, all right. We'll get the sandwich. We made it out. We were okay. Another place we went to down south, they treated us horribly because we were Northerners. We went to down south. I ordered some fries and like, we don't have any available right now. You have to wait. So I go over in the corner and wait. Meanwhile, I see 3-4 people go and get fries and they're making me wait. So it was, it was a fun thing. I like stuff like that because it always gives you a fun story to tell, right? You always have a fun story to tell and it makes it a nice thing. So the capitalist thought of the day is I'm going to wrap this up a little bit earlier than normal, only a couple minutes. We've been going over, so please don't complain, Diego. The capitalist thought of the day is this. It's Christmas Eve tonight, and although I'm not religious, I do like cultural stuff, and Christmas is a part of the American culture anyways, and it seems to be a part of the culture in South Africa. So if this is if you come from a country and you celebrate Christmas, or you celebrate Christmas yourself, and you're free to do so, enjoy yourself, enjoy your Christmas, enjoy your family, enjoy your loved ones, and be grateful that you still have the freedom to do so. Thank you so much. And my question is, and this is an easy one, go to YouTube. Will you be celebrating Christmas? Please go to YouTube and answer the question. It helps with the algorithm. We got 100 people watching. If all 100 people would just go there and say, hit the like button, that would be astronomical. It'd be fantastic. Please help out. Everybody, I love you guys. Thank you so much for the super chats, the super stickers. Thank you so much for just being here and taking part in the conversation. Have a very Merry Christmas, and I will see you Friday. And remember, Everyday Ethics will be on today at 2:00, early start. I'll be there, right here on this channel. Merry Christmas, everyone.